Hello. We are back again with the homie. We did one of these like last year, sometime over a year ago, year and some change, when you were still in high school. And now you're a college senior.
Yup.
How was your first semester in college?
It was good. It's time I just shifted from being away from home. So I learned a lot about myself and like what I wanted to do in life and just anything like essential. I'm pretty sure like it changed my mindset a lot. I came back like super or well informed about everything. So yeah, and the parties, a lot of parties.
So you say the first semester was good?
Yeah, definitely a good freshman year experience.
So overall, how was 2020? The beginning of 2020, how was that?
Well, the beginning of 2020 was actually pretty good. Like, it was going well until March. And then after March, it's a blur. But yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody thought that 2020 was going to be our year. I thought that 2020 was going to be my year. I mean, it still is. But yeah, I was super disappointed after March. But it was good. I was making a lot of moves.
Making a lot of moves. Expound on making a lot of moves.
I was tending to my goals for the year. But it got put on pause because of COVID.
Speaking of COVID, how has that affected you overall? If you can describe it in one word. All right, I'll give you 2 sentences. Go.
It has been both positive and negative. Positive because I realized a lot of things for myself, and negative because I had to go through a lot of things to realize that.
Goals. That's a part of learning.
Yeah.
So, catch me up. So, what's been going on? I get laughed at. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'm just...
Okay, how has Athalia changed from 2019 to 2020? How do you compare yourself from then to now?
Well, I think Athalia from last year, 2019, was pretty shy. I mean, I'm still shy, but not as shy. I think that 2020 Athalia is more open-minded and more understanding in a way. And she's learned to not always play the victim in every situation, but rather look at it from like all perspectives. 2020, Athalia has curly hair now. Last year I didn't have curly hair. This year I do. You know the vibes.
I actually don't know the vibes. Just explain, why did you decide to go natural?
Well, because I was going to a PWI, and anybody that goes to a PWI knows that white people don't know how to, predominantly white institution, white people do not know how to, well, at least from what I know, there are no hair salons that cater to like, or understand how to do people's hair that are different from theirs. So I took that as a sign to like actually take care of my own hair and like actually, you know, just grow my hair.
So you say you go to a PWI. How's that experience been?
It's been Yikes. Well, it's been a good and bad one. Everything's good and bad, but I guess that's a part of life. It's been good because I've met people from different backgrounds that's helped me like understand like culturally like how other people work. It's helped me like become more aware of just how society works and like just the different like systems that kind of interconnect with our communities in a way. So it's definitely been like a very, how do you say, como se dice? It's been a learning experience for me, but also it's been bad because my school does not know how to do anything. My school kind of like knows how to build community in a way, but I think when like it comes to like certain conflicts, they don't know how to like address it in a way, kind of be silent. And I think it goes for a lot of PWIs that like in a way they use like their minorities as a token to their like school and like kind of like show off their minorities to say like, hey, this is what we have, you know, but doesn't actually like cater to us when we need it to be helped. And also like freshman year I had an experience where I had a roommate, like she kind of used a derogatory term towards me and my other roommate, and we weren't comfortable with that and she didn't respect it. But it was also a learning experience for me because I had to understand that she comes from an area that says those words in a way and she doesn't understand that the meaning or how it affects other people.
So you said that, you know, your school don't understand, they use people as tokens, I guess, which is pretty much understandable. Considering the fact that what happened this year, how COVID made people more, I'm going to say my personal opinion is that COVID made people more aware, and what happened with George Floyd, even though things like this have been happening for years, this was like the catalyst for it. How do you perceive your school handle that?
Well, I definitely saw a lot of frustration surrounding that situation, and I can understand that because personally I was frustrated watching the video for George Floyd. But I do know, like, yeah, it was a catalyst for social change and like awareness, I guess, for police brutality. But like, yeah, it's been around for a really, really long time. And I remember in high school and middle school talking about that topic in my essays and everything. So the way that my school handled it, I think my school was more so pressured to address the situation because our students and our minority students in the community were kind of like pressing the issue onto them, and not like they're not saying it kind of like affected our community a lot because it just showed that they don't really care about us in a way. So my school did not address it until like probably in May, and George Floyd happened around early April, March, I would say. But there were a lot of things that like, you know, at first it was cool and all to see a lot of support for the movement and just like seeing a lot of people like bring up in conversations like the whole police brutality and just seeing how the injustice that it does to Black people. I feel like it eventually became a trend, and a lot of people were performatively advocating for these people and just to gain some support or just to say that they have this Black friend, you know. And I feel like that's where like the token comes into play, because like a lot of people just, they act like they care for it, but I don't think they will ever understand like what it means to be Black, you know. So there's a lot of different privilege that comes into play too. Not saying anything, I feel like that's why it infuriates a lot of minorities, because you have the privilege to say something. You have the privilege to a sense that people will actually care what you say, rather than somebody like me who's just a student or like who's just a kid in my family. They won't believe like what we say, or like it's not credible because I'm just a kid, or they say I don't know that much. So yeah, I think that's why it became infuriating for a lot of people, and that's why my students in my school pressed our school to say something, because they have that platform.
All right, let's speed up a little bit. We're going to skip something. Please, Athali, explain where you are again.
Oh yes, I'm in Korea right now. I'm in Pyeongtaek, Gyeongsang-ji, something like that. Yeah, Pyeongtaek. I've been here for about 2 months. Yeah, a little bit over a month. It's been great so far. Been chilling, stressing, but been chilling overall.
You've been stressing?
Stressing over classes, because, you know, college. But,
so,
yeah.
Being here and, you know, off mic, because we've talked every day when you were back in the States or whatever, just to make sure. I was calling it as a concerned parent, make sure you're okay. But being here now and seeing what you're seeing back in the States, how does that make you feel?
Well, I feel grateful to be here because I feel like when you're outside of America, you don't really see how unsafe it is until you're in a safe area, if that makes sense. Like you don't really see how unsafe an area is until you're out of there. You know, just like you can't really see things from the inside rather than the outside. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, just seeing things like makes me grateful in a way to be able to escape that for a while, because not a lot of people are able to leave America right now, especially because of COVID. I don't know, it kind of makes me grateful for it, because yeah, right now it's not looking too good for my home.
While in the thick of it, like after so while this movement was going on, how does it make you feel? Did you participate in anything?
Oh gosh, okay. Yes, I was really affected, specifically when seeing George Floyd and the video of him dying, and just witnessing somebody dying, even if it's not in person, like it definitely does affect you. So I feel like I cried when I first saw that video, because it hurts. Like it hurts seeing, you know, someone in the hands of someone that's supposed to protect us, you know, and just like enforce the law in the right way. It hurts seeing that power used negatively, if that makes sense. So it definitely pushed for me to participate in some way, because you have to advocate. Like, you know, we're at a time where it's just unacceptable at this point. So I did attend a protest. It was a peaceful protest. It was in Harlem, and I went with a friend, and my mom did not like it. So that was the only protest that I ever attended. But the way I get involved is definitely by educating other people, definitely letting people know about the struggles of Black people, and just advocating for different minorities, because it's important to educate and also like spread awareness for that issue, because most people don't get to see that in the media, choose not to see it in the media, but it's definitely important to educate other people, and I think that's the best way to be involved.
How do you think media influenced this whole Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, George Floyd, Antifa, everything? I just think that's from my view, from the outside looking in. Even though I'm from New York City like you, but now living here in Korea, my heart broke when I saw that video. I watched it several times. I just couldn't believe what I was watching. In general, like, how did the media affect you? How did you find out about it initially?
I found out about it through Instagram. That was the main social media that I used at the time. And I watched the video through Instagram as well. I can say that Instagram was a really big platform for a lot of people to definitely spread anything, from George Floyd to Breonna Taylor to anybody else. It definitely spread the news a lot. It was basically a news media at one point, because I feel like a lot of people use it to spread news about anything. But it affected me, because it just affected me in a sense that I had to take a break from social media and actually step away. It could be emotionally draining in a way that you're so involved in the media, you get affected in different ways. You feel a range of emotions and stuff like that you don't actually see anything else in a way, or see anything in a positive light, so definitely took that away. It also became a political arena, because I definitely saw a lot of arguments and a lot of exploitation of conversations between people, and basically a right and wrong. And I definitely understand it, because when it comes to racial injustice and somebody being shot by a white cop, you could see how that plays out, so it was really intense. I can say it wasn't for play anymore. There was a lot of emotions all over the posts and stuff. And even Blackout Tuesday, that was a whole thing that a lot of people participated in to not support anything. I don't know, the media also, I couldn't really post a lot too, because of personal reasons and family reasons. If I wasn't personally if those issues were not there, I would have actually used my platform more.
You were affected. Also, your family was affected in different ways, because we all raised a certain way. Did that change you? Did it change your mindset on a lot of things, especially personally and family and outside? What did that affect you as a whole? We're in an election year right? And that you saw people became more blatant with their views and everything else. And some people, for me personally, some people like I respected, and some people that changed my thoughts on a lot of things. Did that happen to you as well?
From time to time, but I feel like in a way changing my thoughts was also like kind of like expanding my knowledge on the other side, you know, that I wouldn't say don't necessarily agree on, but that I don't really know about, because there's still a lot more to learn about. I can say that like just seeing like different political views and like there's a lot to, it's really complicated, because like politics is not really politics anymore. It's like, I feel like it's like a gamble, you know, it's all about the money. And like I've been saying all along, like this election particularly is like it's always been about choosing the lesser evil. And it's like nobody really cares about social activism. Anybody in politics that I've seen, nobody actually really cares about, you know? And it's frustrating, because like there are actual things happening, but these people come from a place of privilege where they don't have to deal with that. They don't have to confront those issues head on, because they've never actually had those issues. So it's frustrating to see that it's come to a point where like we have to choose a leader, and these leaders are not indicative or like representative like of who we are as a country, or what the invisible side of the country is, because America, it's pretty damaged, I'm saying, because there's a lot of communities that are forgotten. And I've noticed that too. Like nobody ever acknowledges the American Indians or the reservations. There's a lot of communities are forgotten about, and they're not addressing it, because again, like they don't come from those communities. So I would say like when I'm shown something from like a view, like from another's political view, I would say I'm pretty open-minded, and I definitely like watch it with like a pretty open mindset. And I don't know, like just watching it, I guess it shows me like a different perspective. Would I say like it changed my political view? No, but I definitely respect it. But it's not right to like also infringe or like try to change my political view, or say that stating my own beliefs or views to somebody else. It's not right to say that it's an attack. It's not right to say that I'm racist because I'm trying to change your view, because I'm simply stating my beliefs towards you, or trying to refute your belief or your idea with an argument. I definitely do not like when conversations do get like personal, you know, from political standpoint, because it's like, no, like I respect how you feel, but you should also respect how I feel, and not feel offended that I don't feel the same way, if that makes sense. So that's been like a really big like
contention.
Yeah.
So these political views that you said, the arguments people try to get you to see their way, has it been like internal, external, like both sides? Because I've gotten the same thing as well, where some people jokingly say to me, "Oh, if you're gonna vote for this person, don't come for Christmas dinner, or that's the first thing I'm gonna ask you."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why would you care who I vote for? That's my personal choice.
Yeah, it's come to a point where like I guess I can't even talk about my own beliefs in an area, because that's how like intense it is. I don't know. I think like a lot of people confuse like tradition with like conservatism, if that makes sense. And it's just like, no, I'm not trying to challenge your view. I'm simply I'm respecting you, because that's my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to open your mind up to different things and believe something or change your belief. You know, you don't always have to like. I'm gonna say something that my dad said. Traditions are meant to be broken. And I'm saying like conservatism, whatever within your family, is meant to be molded into something different, because, you know, and I think that's exactly what 2020 is. Broken. Basically.
Got that out of the way.
That was intense. I was like, damn.
What are your goals for the rest of 2020?
My goals? Ooh. See, I can't even picture what next week will look like, so.
That's good. I mean, remember, the goal is just to de-stress, relax.
The goal for 2020 is, well, get to know my dad more, because that's why I'm here. One of the reasons why I'm here.
Okay.
That's a goal.
What is that like?
What?
What is that like?
Being here.
Yeah, with your dad, yeah. More than a week.
Yes.
Everyone taking credit.
It's been good so far. It's definitely been like interesting, you know, it's on an everyday basis, you know, something new. I learned something new about my dad every single day, I can say. I just learned that he's really into like Subarus, that he wants to like, you know, he's into cars and watching car videos, so that's one. I learned about MF Doom. He says that that's like my favorite rapper's best favorite rapper, so.
Facts. Super facts. MF Doom.
MF Doom. Yeah, it's definitely been a unique experience, and also like getting to know like not just my dad but also my little sister, like my stepmom. So yeah, it's been cool.
We haven't gotten you to eat any samnachi yet, but it's
coming. Yeah.
Yes. Do you want to speak on your video that we're gonna do for your YouTube channel that we've been putting the videos for recording stuff?
No, that's a surprise.
I know in the past, like things were said, and now that you're evolving, does that shake your beliefs on a lot of things that were placed in front of you before, or now you're just like, all right, cool, like I'm seeing it for myself. This kind of lines up with whatever was said. This is way the fuck left field or right field. Has that changed your perspective on what people have told you in the past to how you are now?
I definitely. I can see why those things were said, but I don't think it was the right way to address a situation like that. But yeah, I've seen things a lot for myself and definitely been lied to. But I guess like in a way, like if I look at it now, I think it was meant to protect me. I feel like eventually, like, you know, we're supposed to like hit reality at some point, you know what I'm saying? So
what was it protecting you from?
Like, I think it was just a way to protect me because that's what a lot of people have been saying. But
that's weird.
It's weird, but I think like it's definitely interesting because everything's like been connecting for me for some reason this week. Like it's like, yeah, like it's aligning for me in a way, but everything's just being connected. It's funny that you mentioned that because I'm reading something right now in class that's about like Black mothering, how like Black mothers like are devoid of emotional love to their daughters or their sons.
It spreads from the slave mentality.
Yeah, or being
away.
Like a happy slave. And it's really funny that like you mentioned that because it's just like,
and, you know, we've had this conversation before about how, you know, social welfare came into place, how the U.S. government was like, hey, you can't be with your husband or else you can't get these benefits. So, you know, that further alienated men and women from each other and kids from their fathers or mothers or whatever, but mostly from their fathers. So then, you know, it's like it's a recurrent cycle where you have babies growing up hating one thing, but then they're going back and they're doing the perpetual cycle, like crabs in a barrel.
Yeah, and it's like, for me personally, like if I ever were to become a mother, I think what was said to me this week was to break the generational curse, you know, of that, like, you know, alienating from a parent, you know, or just trying to like impose a belief about a parent to a child, you know, because like it's not good to do that. I guess trying to play both roles is hard. That's why I feel like the protection comes in, but it's definitely not okay to like impose your own beliefs. Like basically what I was saying before about politics, definitely not okay to impose your beliefs or like your feelings and project them onto somebody else about that other person, you know, just because of your experience with that other person is definitely different from your child's experience with that person. So
Athalia, let's sped back from when you first got here the second time around. You came from the States.
Yes.
And Korean government, their numbers are low, like super low. Like it spiked up to like 500 and they locked this whole country down. Now it's back down into like almost the double digits or whatever. So you were put on el cuarentino. That should be a hurricane or some shit.
Yes.
How was it getting through? How was your flight, first of all?
My flight was okay. I didn't sleep through the flight. Like I took like little naps here and there.
Were you excited?
I was definitely excited. I just wanted to get off the airplane. Like I was like, okay, these 14 hours need to go. Like, come on. Yeah. I was definitely like, it was cool. Like the food was different from last time because last time they gave you like only Korean food, but like now they give you a choice between American food and the Korean food, and I was like, yeah, let me get some of the American food, you know. Yeah, so yeah, it was pretty cool. I watched like a bunch of movies.
Cool. So that was the flight. How was it getting through customs?
I was stopped like 5 times. Taken to immigration office because I wasn't in the system. And yeah.
You are now.
Period. But yeah, I was taken, like, stopped like 5 times. When I was like, they were looking through my information. Kid was flirting with me, and I was like, okay, give me my stuff. And that's when I was taken to immigration. Then I got to the entrance. I got through.
And then we hung out a little bit in the airport. Then he took you
to the bus.
And then
to the post. Took the I took the nasal test. They put something in.
All the way up there.
And I was like, at first I was scared. He knew I was scared, the doctor. He was like, it's okay, just tilt your head back. 2 seconds. He was like, 1, 2. That was the longest 2 seconds I've ever had, to be honest. But it wasn't that bad. And then they took us to the quarantine building or barracks. I was thinking it was gonna be okay. I was gonna be by myself because I like being by myself. And boom, hour later, somebody comes in, knocks on the door, had to go up, and they were like, hey, this is your roommate. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't happy, but
Shorty woke me up in the middle. She was like, do we have Wi-Fi? I'm like, sir, ma'am, do you see the Wi-Fi? There's like mad of them. There's open. She was like, which one do I pick? I'm like, any one of them. Like, any one of them. Well, it takes common sense to know, you know?
Common sense is not so common.
It's common to me. It was horrible.
And your yard time?
Huh?
Your yard time?
My boy?
Yard time.
Oh, yard time. I definitely took advantage of those yard times.
Me too.
Got to kick it outside.
Talk. So, after the whole barracks routine, yard time, came here, came hang out. What did we do? We went out to eat, right? Or we just stayed in?
We stayed in. Well, we got like stuff. We did routine stuff, like get our IDs.
I already had mine. You got to get yours.
Well, yeah.
Finally.
Mine.
Been in the system since 2007. What have you done since you've been here? What did you like that you did that since you've been here? Besides super fast internet.
This man, this kid. Well, we've been to like the different Korean barbecue restaurants. That's what I've liked. I've got to taste like different meats.
The first one was trash. The one we went through when we came back from that place. That was beef, bulgogi.
Oh, yeah, that one, it was okay.
Trash.
It was really unpleasant because like I could tell that like nobody was in the mood or like people were tired. So I was here minding my business, you know, rolling my leaves up with the food in it. I was really happy despite it all, but it definitely wasn't like the other restaurants. So yeah.
Like I said, video coming soon. I think this is gonna be like part 2 of the video, man. We out here.
But yeah, so I like going. We went to see the sheeps, right? Yeah, the sheeps. I like that. It was raining, but it was cool. Got to pet one because I never pet one.
Super scared.
I was kind of scared because like.
Bro, I got the video. You're super scared.
Cause I didn't think they were like.
Like you.
Yeah.
But you ate one like the night before. No. Remember the barbecue scene?
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, definitely did eat that. But yeah.
You ate that a lot. You
Yes.
tearing that thing up.
Yes.